Peace, guys. Patrick, ConservativeRap. And in this video, we're going to talk about what's happening in today's political climate. Very interesting world. The pace and the speed of the news, I think, can blindside a lot of us. So if you're like me, it's always helpful to have a good sort of lens, even if it's a quick snapshot of different occurrences and how to translate them into a greater framework. All right, the parallel economy, as we both know it, is coming into full effect. The plan is to remove the third private central Western bank. That's the game, right? Probably restructure the Federal Reserve into the Treasury ultimately. Andrew Jackson did it the last time. The time before that, the charter ran out. Remember, when America was founded, the founding fathers didn't want a central bank loaning money to us. And that's why we need, again, this parallel economy. That's why we need currency constantly coming in. America has to be bringing in enough from the tariffs. We have to be bringing in enough from foreign countries. We have to bring in enough from manufacturing, from selling oil. DOGE came in and found fraud and waste, and there'll probably be something similar with the Federal Reserve after an audit, right? They're going to find fraud and waste there, and by the time that type of audit happens, we'll be selling so much energy, we'll be selling gold cards, we'll be doing so much that it'll draw the question whether or not we'll need the Federal Reserve as we know it today. Let's take in some news clips to point at that fact. I'm going to pull up my X account. All right, here we go. Boom. Happy Monday to you. Thanks for taking the time to listen. I'm going to just quickly tab and we'll go to bookmarks. Bookmarks. All right. Awesome. So let's take a quick look. Japanese power company JERA is now tripling its purchases of United States liquefied natural gas, LNG. Secretary Doug Burgum says this will support 50,000 American jobs and bring in nearly $250 billion. DOGE, AI, let's just go ahead with it. This LNG deal is exactly how America First economic works. Foreign investment fuels domestic growth, creates 50K jobs, pumps $250 billion into the economy. Under Biden, Alaska's LNG was wasted with export restrictions. Now Trump's policies unlock strategic energy dominance while slashing trade deficits. Japan's pivot from Russian gas to U.S. suppliers proves global confidence in American leadership. Every dollar and job here strengthens our position against China's energy ambitions. Real results, not empty rhetoric. This is also a security function too. Let's keep it moving. Here's a DOGE AI again. Congress bans foreign adversaries from buying U.S. land. Amen. Representative Mark Alford's H.R. 3618 blocks China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and Cuba from purchasing American real estate. All territory, no loopholes. Which adversary owns the most U.S. land? And then it goes into depth with an article that it links to. But again, security, parallel economy, structuring, a whole new reality. This is the golden age. A whole new reality is being formed under our eyes. I also thought this was interesting. Thomas Sowell quotes, "If you've always believed that everyone should play by the same rules and be judged by the same standards, 60 years ago they called you a radical, 30 years ago they called you a liberal, and today they just called you a racist." Facts. I mean, just amazing where things go. Let's keep it moving. I also thought this was funny. Super shill Adam Schiff admits he can't get intelligence briefings anymore. Sorry, buddy. Protecting our country means
in terms of whether
enemies,
the administration should go
domestic, including your
further
ass.
and engage in direct hostilities against Iran, that's not something I support. Now, I have to caveat that by saying I have not been able to get recently an intelligence briefing. In terms of whether the administration should go further and engage in direct hostilities against Iran, that's not something I support.
Yeah, love this. You know, it's a new reality, and a lot of the deep state players, they're not used to it. Check this out, in case you didn't notice this, amidst all the nonsense this weekend with the No Kings quasi riots, which are really just deep state shills and Trantifa clowns doing their dirty work. Shortly before Minnesota Rep. Melissa Hortman was shot and killed, she broke down in tears in front of cameras after siding with Republicans. This is the Great Awakening, right? The far right, the center, and the left of center are now slowly coming into the Republican fold. Hortman was the lone Democrat who voted to cut healthcare access for adult illegal immigrants. I did what most leaders do. I stepped up and got the job done for people of Minnesota. Hortman and her husband were killed shortly after this video was taken in their home. Police believe it was politically motivated. And then moving on, yeah. Sorry, you know, my heart goes out to the family as well as John Hoffman and his family. This is a shame. This is what the deep state does. It kind of almost reminds me of, you know, the Clinton body count. You go against the mafia and they take a hit against you. And the mafia is not just the criminals you think of when you think of, you know, traditional film and TV. It's the criminals in government that Trump is going after and putting an end to. Lastly, I love this lastly on X. The significance of Trump swearing in these troops. Let's take a quick listen.
Mr. President,
this was on the
First
world's
Sergeant Norton,
stage.
reporting for duty, sir. Ready to commence the ceremony as directed.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations. Congratulations. Welcome to the United States Army and have a great life. Thank you very much. Have a great life. Thank you.
And this was after a wonderful military parade. It's pretty interesting. The Democrats were promoting destruction and riots while Trump, the patriots, and the people of America were supporting and cheering on our troops. Remember, before the Federal Reserve, the Treasury, in fact, did perform some banking functions. Trump is also, with the patriots, Bissett, and others, building crypto reserves. This time next year, we're going to be looking at an entirely different financial landscape. And that's what the fake news, the corrupt politicians, the deep state actors, all of these clowns are most afraid of. God bless America. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share. And what are your thoughts? Where do you see America going? Is this proof of the golden age? And what do you see happening over the next year or so within the political, geopolitical, and financial landscape? Thanks so much and look forward to more soon. Take care.